was in 2003. Me and Alecia had a band. We were friends since forever, and we had a band, and we came to visit Gavin's church where he played, and we did a few songs and chatted afterward, and he's like, dude, we should do something together. And like, okay, you've got a band or a thing with Artisan that time, and I've got my band. How is it gonna work? But after a while, like a few months, he introduced me to Franco and his band, and we got together and did something, and that's where we met Werner. And we played in different projects, sessions. I had a solo project, Triveno project, and Werner sessioned on the album. Gavin played with me since 2004, whenever I played something. So, yeah, that's how we met. That's how we got together.
Well, I can tell you from my perspective, which was interesting, which might be different than I think a lot of others. So Triveno phoned me one day and asked me if I can just play a few tracks with them live. You remember that story?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, why don't you just come and join us? You know, look. So what are we going to play? No, it's a few original songs. I'll give you the keys. Cool. Let's do it. And that was in the old Mill Theatre in Paarl. So I did it. I think we had like one rehearsal or something.
Yeah.
And it just felt right.
Yeah.
There's
We had a connection.
Yes.
On
We
stage, we
spoke
connected,
about
yeah.
it afterwards because it was the first time that I actually played, apart from the studio, played on Triveno solo material. All the other gigs we did together were either church music or somebody else's music. So that was interesting. The first time we played original material, something just worked. It just felt easy, right? And then, as if you can remember, you asked me a second time. And then we did it again. And that's when we said, well, maybe there's something here, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe we should pursue this. So,
Yeah.
So, but I mean, at that stage, you were already playing together, the three of you.
Yeah. We had a band, the Triveno band, me, Alecia and Gavin. And Werner was like playing with us, and then he can't make it and playing with us. And we're like, yeah, see the sound when this guy plays with us. It's like
so good.
So cool. And he came to us as a guy.
But we were actually thinking, I wonder if you would consider playing in the band.
That was the big question.
One of the band chats.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't a band chat. I wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, because Werner is this professional guy, you know. He's like brilliant on guitar. I'm like, will he play with us? Well, it was in 2015 after we had a show at the Old Mall. It's a great show. We had footage and everything, and we spoke about, yes, guys, we need to take this seriously. We need to do something. Yeah, the name Southern Lights. We are from the South, and we want our sound to be from the South, from South Africa. That's the whole thing. We don't want to sound like a American pop band or commercial band. Our overall sound may be commercial pop, but the roots, we want to be from South Africa, and that's the Southern Lights where we're from. And
The lights in Southern, the lights for me, that's the overarching idea of hope. And of that there is a light somewhere in whatever dark tunnel it is.
Yeah.
And it's a positive perspective on things. It's that light. That's what it means for me.
Yeah. And with music these days, you get a lot of dark music and depressing music. But that's not what we want to do. We want to bring light. We want to bring hope.
I think for me, Southern Lights, why it works, personally, we all come from a space where music isn't what we went and we studied it. It's part of us. It's something that we grew up with. So as single musicians, we might not be the best. at our instrument. But when we come together, there's just something that happens, and I think that's the magic in Southern Lights. Is
well, I think it's interesting you mentioned that, because the sound we make together is vastly different from the sound we make as individuals when we play.
It is.
And what's interesting is we don't try and create the sound. We don't decide beforehand, this is what we want to sound like, or this is a new wave of music and maybe we should sound like that. What we sound like is simply what comes naturally.
Yeah.
The music that we listen to is not necessarily the kind of music that we make, because Gavin likes Demon Hunter and
hardcore
whatnot.
stuff. Hardcore stuff.
And we don't do like rock music at
Not
all.
yet.
No.
I'll also work on that one.
Yeah.
So have the two rockers on the side.
Yeah. I think, like we said, we bring different elements together. It's like Gavin described. We play different styles and we mix it all together.
I think our music definitely has a Cape Town sound, is what I call it. It's there's a sound and a vibiness that I don't hear in a lot of music. For instance, when we prepared for this recording, I went through my whole record collection to find something that sounds remotely like we do, and I couldn't find a single song. So hopefully next time, if I have to prepare for our next recording, I can use this one as the reference of, this is the closest to what I think we sound like. Definite South African flavor, which I think is important to us, because this is where we live and where we are. I call it the Cape Town sound. It's got a little bit of maybe a jazzy feel here and there, but I think it's more the tones and the timbre of the music that's a style. It's not necessarily the notes we play.
Or the beat.
The beats, the rhythm patterns, things like that.
Well, Triveno mostly, for now, or so far, he did most of the writing of the songs, or it's songs that he already had or wrote last year or this year, that he brings to the band, and then we work on it. But eventually the goal would be that all of us would come together and maybe work on a song together or bring a song idea. And then he brings the song to the band and we work on it, see what lines, guitar lines or bass lines, work on it. And whereas to before, he wrote the song in the Triveno project and just said, okay, this is what he wants for the guitar line, this is what he wants for the bass. But now it's more like everyone brings their own flavor, like Gavin said before, and we see how it works together.
Yeah, what's great about Southern Lights, we experiment a lot. So I would bring a song, I say, guys, I've got this tune, I would record it just with a guitar and it's a voice note, send it to the guys, have a listen to it. Get together, Werner would have like ideas of some lines and
Hundreds.
like hundreds, You'd play it and sometimes it's just no, it's not working. Just then he goes home, works something else. And what we also did with the project and for the songs of the EP, we played the songs live, and we would record it live at the event. Would listen to it and we go through it like everything and say we don't like that, it's not working, we should change it. And we play it live again and work on it again, and that's how we test it with the crowd and we asked him, like, did you like this song? And the song that they don't like, we revisit it.
I don't know if other bands do that as well, but I think it's a good method of doing it. It's a risky method because if it sucks on stage, it's there, it's now, it's sucking now. So I think that's our way of doing it, is testing it with the crowd, seeing how they respond.
Our process is that there's no place for egos. If a line doesn't work, it doesn't work, and the band's very quick to point it out.
Or a beat,
or a beat, yes,
or a beat,
thing, or bass line,
anything. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then you you go home and you try something new until you find something that works.
First you cry and
You feel offended.
Yeah.
Then you just.
I mean, you even tell me when my tone sucks. I mean, like, but the other thing that's interesting is that we all play from each other. So if one person changes something, yeah, everyone else has to adapt. So it's not easy. Once we fall into that thing that really works, to change that is sometimes hard. You change one bass note and the drum pattern doesn't work anymore.
No, we inspire each other.
Yes. So it's that constant, feeding off each other that makes it very interesting. It also means that it takes a while.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time to find something that really works for everybody, and it's right there.
And what's also demanding on my style of singing, or a lot of stuff you work on the guitar with my vocal. So I have to sing exactly the same lines or tones, melody every time.
And your phrasing as well.
My phrasing
has to be exactly the same.
Because we're working it with the guitar, and that's cool.
Is when they start hearing things that we don't hear. Like, I hear this drum beat there, and then I hear this bass line.
Just change your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're the drummer. So
just flip your
it's easy.
guitar.
Just play.
Yeah, splickety splack.
Yeah,
exactly.
Taka.
And that happens in rehearsal, and that's what I like about us. I don't play drums, but I hear something, or Werner hears, Alecia hears something, and we just say, dude, just try this. And then we open to try it. And when we listen to it, we say, this works, or no, it's not working. But we are willing to try and experiment. There's room for, okay, I'm open, I can try this. We don't say, no, it's not going to work, experience or what. We try something. So that's the long process. I mean, some of the songs we recorded, I've written years ago. We've played it for like a year or 2 years. Some are recent, a few months. But yeah, it takes a while to get to the recording studio.
I think the message that we want to portray is definitely predominantly one of being positive. There's a lot of things in life to be grateful for. And obviously there's a lot about love, relationships, and what happens in those. But I think what defines a band's message at the end of the day is what you use music for in your life. If you use music and writing songs and playing an instrument as a means of dealing with life's issues, then life's issues will become your message. If you use music as a way of expressing your joy and your appreciation of life, then that will become your message. One of joy or one of appreciation, of being positive. So saying that, I think that the message is really we are a band of people telling stories. We tell stories about our lives and about what goes on. If that's positive, the message will be positive. But if we in our lives tackle something dark and something difficult, then the message will be dark and difficult.
Cool.
So for me, the message is really, it's about being authentically us, and what we go through as normal people in South Africa.
Of course, you are going to go through dark times, and we do touch some of those subjects in the lyrics, but at the end, to bring a light and to be a hope that, you're not always going to be in that situation. There is light, at the end of the tunnel. So that is, I think, also what we're trying to do with our music, to bring light and to bring hope.
A message of hope. That I think is our aim. Obviously, with every song you won't get that, because sometimes you just want to do a feel-good song and it's nice
Because it feels good.
So we had this thing about 16 seconds, just playing 15 seconds of sound.
Which was it? It wasn't 17 at it.
It was actually 17.
It was actually
when we
17 at a point.
But the idea was just to play a few seconds of music and stop and it's done. And it was a lot of fun on stage. So we did another show. So we had to bring something extra just to, bring something Southern Lights into the mix. And last rehearsal, we did the band said, guys, let's just play this chord progression, and we play this long intro and just end it with the words, "This is just a start." And that was it. What happened is, we only played it once, so Gavin had a certain groove he had to play, and there was a line. And when we played it, the dude played something else. It's like, that wasn't what we rehearsed, the one rehearsal we had. But that ended up to be the groove that we have for the song, and the line Werner played with that live on stage.
Well, what was interesting was when we played it on stage, I couldn't remember the song. So
I don't think anyone did. Yeah.
So I actually
I remembered, and it was like, you're not playing the thing right.
So I actually had no idea what line I played during rehearsal. So when we played it live, I just played, whatever came up, because there's a theatre full of people looking at you, and a big part of the intro line of the recording was actually exactly the line that I played spontaneously that day. So it's interesting. It's really
so that was like 30 seconds or something, and Werner came to me and said, "Dude, listen to this thing. We should make a song. You should write a song." I'm like, "No, we should keep it like that. Just a start. That's the whole thing. It should be just a start." And he bugged me every time at rehearsal. "Dude, this is just a start." He would sing a few lines. I'm like, "Okay, let me just go write this."
Yeah,
thing.
he's not gonna leave it.
It's not gonna end. It's not gonna end. Yeah, so I went back and sat with the thing and wrote. And the thing about this is just a start. For me, the song is not just about the relationship, but it's also with us as a band. It's something new, it's something grand. We don't know where it's going, but we hope that we're gonna go big. And with the relationship also, when you start, it's like putting everything in it, but you want it to succeed. So it's about, when I wrote it, I was thinking about the band, this Southern Lights project that we have, and also about relationships, going, you don't know where it's going to end, but you're hoping that it's going to be forever.
And also, it's a new song, and while you were writing the song, we were actually building our house, which is also a new start.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, what's interesting about this song, I wrote this song while I was in another place, in another space, not in my comfort. And yeah, so it's a different inspired. Werner mostly inspired me to just go write the thing. But also what's happening with us as a band, and we're growing and we're moving forward, and looking for love. That's an interesting one. We also played it a different genre. Don't know if you guys remember, we've changed it.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was different. We didn't have the African vibe. It was, and the interesting thing about Looking for Love, that song, I wrote it in the process of like a couple of years, like 5 or 6 years. I only had this chorus line or this hook. Everybody's looking for love. I told Alecia this would be a nice dance track with just everybody's looking for love with this beat and what. And I just had that for like a year or something, and this tune would just stay in my mind, and I got the bridge before I got the verses. That's interesting. That's a first for me. And as time went on, we got a daughter, and she is amazing. So a lot of experiences and stuff and time with the writing of a song. With the music, that's also a different thing. We played it a certain way, and I told Gavin this one time, Gavin, we should move in like this African vibe because it doesn't fit nice. That time Werner wasn't in the band, and spoke about it, and Gavin just tried this African white tone, as he liked to call it, this beat, and it just worked. And preparing for the recording, me and Werner came together, worked out the whole thing before we went to the band. That's why we had the phrasing with the vocal guitar, and it was just amazing. We also went through like 100 lines or something.
Went through 100 lines.
Yeah, and what was cool is you would play something and wait for my response. So they're like, I was like, that could work.
And then I know it doesn't.
It can work,
If
but
it can work, then I know it's not the one.
yeah.
It either works or it doesn't.
Yeah, and when he played something that's like really cool, like in the second verse of Looking for Love, and then I just went nuts, like, whoa, that's the stuff. So the songs, we went to the band and changed something here and there, but got together and worked on the tune together. New Shoes. New Shoes is also a song about new beginnings and new adventures, and I went through a time of making a career change and pursuing this music, and it was a way of saying there's something new, there's something, I'm going places, because I played places I've never played, I met people I haven't met before, and it was a new wave of doing things. Interesting about this song also, when we first played it, it was more like a rock vibe. Heavy, drivey. We have a recording somewhere.
Distortion, choruses.
Yeah.
Was it that bad?
It was a huge
It was
rock
sick,
song.
dude.
Maybe it's like a bad memory that it's.
Yeah, it's like we
No. The thing is,
don't know.
I think it actually sounded well. It sounded good. You see, the thing is, if a song is written well, you can form it in so many styles, and it will in a sense work. But I think initially that rock sound it became more and more unfamiliar to us the more we started chatting as a unit and actually defining what do we sound like. Just, not trying to do anything but just trying to make music. And I think what happened was we realized that we're trying something there which isn't us. And that's why I think we just fell out of that version.
And then again, at band rehearsal, Gavin tried a different drum beat, and then everybody just went with that, and then
Sudden when the
I had
drum
to
beat
play my guitar, strumming differently, the bass changed, the guitar. Werner had to go work.
My
New
lines
lines and stuff.
don't work anymore.
All the lines just.
But isn't that amazing? We spoke earlier about if one thing changes, everything changes. This is a good example.
Yeah.
How one thing influences.
But the thing is, I think we are mature enough to know that if that one thing changed, like your beat, when your beat changed, we all realized that was the right thing.
That's what we want.
What changed there was exactly what should have changed. So we have to adapt.
Yes.
It's not a thing of sorry, dude. Okay, go on. No.
Yeah, Alive with You. Also, interesting song. Alecia would push the trolley, and me and Gabriela, our daughter, would just walk, and I had this tune coming, ringing, and I'm here in the shop, walking around. I take out my phone, I'm around the corner, and people looking at me like, what's this guy doing? And I had this tune in my head, you're my one and only, just coming, and drove home, me and Gabriela in the car, the whole time. Saturday, that was a Friday. Saturday I was busy, but I wanted to just sit with a tune. And the Sunday morning, got up early. I'm going to work with this tune. So in 20 minutes I had the song. Recorded it, sent it to the band, and the rest is history.
I remember because I was actually at that stage, if you remember, I was on holiday
Yeah.
in Georgia, and I got your MP3 recording on WhatsApp. And just before I got into the car, put the phones in, pressed play, and I started driving. And before the first verse ended, I stopped, and I actually remember I texted you back. I didn't even reach the chorus yet, and I said, "Dude, we just have to record this thing."
Yeah.
This is it's a really good song. So yeah, I think right from the beginning, it's I actually when I heard it, I also heard the guitar line at the same time. I just heard it in my head,
Cool.
the whole line. The only thing I didn't have was the chorus. And once again, that's why I say it's good to have another guitar player in the band, because the chorus line is actually the line that you came up with to use on the verse.
Yeah.
Which I then listened to and said, no, I think it should be the chorus line. And it's very interesting. But I think with that song, a lot of the stuff, when I heard it the first time, I actually heard most of what the guitar should do on it.
It's a fun song of celebrating love and life, being with the one you love. You come alive. And that's with us as a band also. We come alive when we get together. It's like just something happened. I mean, rehearsal. We have fun doing rehearsal. You just feel something happen. You come alive when you do this.
You can be tired coming to band practice.
Yeah.
When you leave, you're like
Alive.
pumped.
Yeah.
Until the drummer
Yeah.
changes his beat.
Oh. Deal with it.
I had to.